Evening, everyone. Afternoon or good morning, wherever you are. It's Stuart here from the Woolpatch for another Woolpatch show live, June edition. Where has the time gone? But at last, we've got some nice hot weather, and how nice it is to see you, because obviously I missed last month, didn't I? You were all great sports. Really, really, you were. Thank you very much. If you watched it and saw Jubilee bunting, it was a laugh. But boy, was that a show. I said to Fizz, for this one, it's just going to be chilled. We're gonna relax and have a nice, easy show. We'll chat in the YouTube comments and chat with you at home. I know many of you have sat at home, got us on the TV, and you sat on the settee all ready to watch. But yes, it was a great, May coronation. But Jubilee has gone on her travels. She's left Bunting Hall and she's going on an all around the world trip for, I think it goes on forever. But stay tuned because she will be coming up. Right, let's go into the running order and I'll show you what's planned, what me and Fizz have got planned for today. The Botanic Shawl by Westknits, you might have seen it before. We've had it knitted before in the shop, but it's very big. And many of you Stephen West knitters will know how big his knits are often, his shawls particularly. So we've got a smaller version, a smaller modification for you. Then we've got Guess the Year. Then, yes, the promo that was on all the thumbnails, Woad Yellow. Now, you've heard me talk about Woad many, many a time. I've got some here. This is the 2023 collection, Wensleydale. Can you see that luster? Now, this is what the blue comes from, the woad plant. But someone said to me that you can get yellow from its flowers. So we had to go with that. So you're going to see that and see if it works. Then we got the competition winners. We had a big giveaway on the May coronation. Can you remember all throughout the show, there were letters scrolling along the bottom. And if you were interested in taking part, you had to try and work out the song or the chant, as it were, very topical for the coronation. And we've got those winners, and we're going to do the pick live, absolutely live here. And I'll show you those later on. Then we've got the usual gallery on the half hour. Then we're going to see more of the Woad Yellow. Then we've got the game, Where's Jubilee? As I say, she's left now. We're never going to see her again other than in a few photos. It worked so well. Many of you got in contact and said, I love this game. Well, it's now Where's Jubilee? She could be anywhere in the world. Where's her first point of call? And then, yes, we'll finish off with the top 10 charts, as well as our chat throughout. And as I see here, there's some great comments in the YouTube chat. You know the YouTube chat. It's on the right-hand side there. If you log in, you can chat away. You can also see people with a W. Our memberships are going up. Many of you decided to join the Woolpatch channel. It is literally $4.99 a month. And it's a reoccurring subscription. And see it like, because I know many of you can't visit the shop, but see it like as you popping in and buying a ball of wool. One ball of wool once a month, $4.99. So you can see the W clan there. And just out of interest, you can see the W there, but when I do the messages on screen, this software is not very good at translating those W's. So it ends up looking like a star. But have a look at this. So here's James. James says, I'm doing a Wicked Witch of the West impression. I'm melting. It is hot here in Suffolk and actually, I think in the UK in general. But as I can see from other people too, it's hot elsewhere in Europe. Kirsten, hi from Germany, also hot. But yes, so that's the chat there. And you know what happens in the chat. People are typing away. We can have them on screen here. But, oh, is it? Oh, we had this before. Oh. I I shall speak a bit closer. I think that's this DJ mic that I've got that perhaps isn't necessarily maybe the heat's got to it. Maybe it's melting too. But we know we've got Fizz checking you all out in the YouTube comments there. As we progress through the show, Fizz drops links in. She guides you as to what's coming up next and keeps us all on track. And most importantly, me on track. And due to the wonders of technology, she's now in my ear live. Not with a 30-second delay, but she's live in my ear. So I've just heard her say that I'm a bit faint on the old microphone. So I will speak closer to it, and hopefully that will be good. I'll have to get sorting out the technology. As James said, it's probably very, very hot and it's melting. So let's go straight into it and let's show you this smaller version of the Botanic shawl. It was a hot day, so I went out into the garden earlier to show you the smaller version of it. Take a look. Yeah, I think I pressed mute that time. see, see, now you're saying, bring back Jubilee, bring back Jubilee. That's what you want. I see. I have a month off, and then I just get a bit rusty. Right. I think you can hear me now, Fizz, can't you? So if you have if you haven't seen the Botanic shawl, it's a great knit from Stephen West, and it's very much a TV knit because it's 2 rows of stocking stitch and 2 rows of garter stitch. And let me show you if this works here. There it is. So you can see this idea of the 2 rows of stocking stitch in a solid colour, and then the 2 rows of garter stitch in a variegated colour. So you just need 2 different types of wool. And we use, yes, the good old Crazy Zauberball. Many of you have used this, so let us know in the comments if you've used it, what you think of the yarn. It's a wonderful yarn from the brand Shawl in Germany. It's made with 75% nylon and 75, I am fuzzy, 75% merino and 25% nylon, which is why it's luxurious. But what's really good about the nylon is that Shawl have developed this biodegradable nylon, which basically means it decomposes in wherever, like the tip, at the same rate as wool. They've done something to the nylon to be able to let the bacteria in quicker, because, you know, nylon normally takes about 30 years to biodegrade. So that's done with the Zauberball, and we use tropical fish, and we've done it with our new merino that we've got. We've changed brands. We've gone from Katia for the 4-ply to Lang. It's exactly the same. It's a superwash merino, but it's just not. It, It's got a less plasticky feel. It looks more like a wool. It's got a fuzz to it, which I like. Because, you know, some superwashes can have that sheen that almost looks like an acrylic, whereas this still retains its woolliness. Now, technically, doing the... let's just do this. Doing the Botanic shawl normally takes 2 Zauberballs and 5 of these. So we thought, well, let's try and do a smaller one so it is another price point. So what we've done is with this one here, you can see it on the screen there. We've done it with 1 Zauberball, and hopefully this will work. 1 Zauber, and then 3 50-gram merino balls. So it's reduced it, but it's not like in half. You can see there, it's still actually got some size to it. So the original, and if I look at my measurements here, and I can do this, let's choose a color that we can see. So the original is 53 inches tall, and it's 48 across. But the new smaller version actually is a lot down to 38 by 38. And I know many of you don't want something too big. Sometimes you say, I love Stephen West, but sometimes there's just too much there. It's too much around the neck, and then you end up getting hot and too flustered. So we've listened to you and tried to, because we love the pattern. It's a great pattern. Just with that 2 rows of stocking stitch, 2 rows of garter with the little slip stitch. I think it's every 10 going across. It's a really good TV knit. But this now makes it more affordable. If you want a smaller shawl, for example. And you can do it in so many colours. And you know, if you've used Zauberballs before, they're in so many colours. So you can choose your Zauberball and then choose your contrast colour. And this was done by Mandy, good old Mandy. She knitted this for us, and she worked out the modification. So if you buy the pattern, all you have to do, and we can't show you the pattern, you've got to buy it. So go on to Westknits, go on to Ravelry, and buy. I never thought about that. That link. So I can now hear Fizz frantically going. You would just do the pattern for 186 stitches until then, and then you would border till 200 stitches, and that will take your whole one of those and 3 of those. So therefore you've then got 2 nice writing on my face. I have had fun with this, and of course at some point we have done this, haven't we? Look. We were doing this on Tech Night. Oh dear, little things amuse. So therefore you've got 2 price points, and then you could go on the website and you could choose a Zauberball colour, and you could look at all the merino, and we're slowly getting more colours in of the merino. There are so many teals and different petrels and peacocks. It's just wonderful to do. So let us know in the chat if you have done a Botanic shawl, if you've done a Westknits, or if you've used the Zauberballs too. Lois is there. Hello, Lois. Evening. Let's put that down there. I'm making a pair of socks out of a Zauberball in that colour. Which you bought in my shop. Yes, I remember when you came up. It was such a lovely surprise. It is such a beautiful wool. It is. It's luxury because of that merino, and you've got the nylon there, but that biodegradable nylon. So it's something worth investing in. It is a high price point sock yarn. It's a sock shawl yarn. It's at the top end before you go into indie dyed yarn. You compare it to West Yorkshire Spinners, which is about £7 a ball. You've then got the Zauberball, which is £15 a ball. So it is, but it is worth it because the colours are absolutely stunning. Yes, oh, they are. Look, this is put it in the link. Superb there. And then you've got the modification there if you wanted to do the smaller version. So there we are. That's the Botanic shawl. Hopefully you're still watching and I'm coming out loud and clear. Let's have a little bit of fun now with Guess the Year. It's gone back to normal. Now Jubilee's off on her travels, but this is quite topical because something similar appeared on the Sewing Bee a couple of weeks ago. They did swimwear. And of course, it's boiling hot today. So I know many of you have cracked yours out and are wearing it. Here's Guess the Year. Still a little soft. I wonder why. That's interesting because I haven't touched anything on here, so I have no idea. I leave this set up from us, and maybe it's the Sewing Bee stuff, or I was on here last night with our sewing gang. Maybe it was that. So we'll see. If not, I'll get it sorted for next time. So we're ready now with guessing the year of, yes, the bikini. Who's cracked theirs out today? Were you in your back garden in it? Or were you not in anything at all? Yes, it is very topical. They say they had swimsuits on the Sewing Bee, or should I say sunsuits as well, because some of them were more like sort of, wearing it next to the pool at a bar with a nice cocktail in your hands. So as always, if you've not done this before, it's a game of where you guess the year. If you're at home, you shout it out. You shout it out to the person sat next to you, or if you're in the comments, you type it in the comments. I've got 1 minute to get as many comments on the screen. So start typing away your comments now of what year you think it is. 1 minute. Here we go. When was the bikini invented? This was the first picture ever of the bikini. So guess the year. When was the bikini invented? That would have helped if I said that. So guess the year of this photo wearing the first ever. Was it invented? Are you ready for it? So this photo here is I would pronounce it Michele, I presume so. Bernardini wore the first ever bikini because the creator, which is if we can pronounce this right, Louis, is it? Bad something like Bernard. He wanted to. He could see that ladies, because they were wearing like a swimsuit, but it had sort of shoulders on, and the legs were still there. So he saw ladies rolling it up, and he thought, right, well then we need something where they can get their legs tanned more. Well, look how high he took that. What year do you think it was? And he struggled to get a model to wear the bikini on launch day, but Michelin, he found this lady in the end. So the year was when it was invented was 1946. And who did we get close? I'm having a scroll through. Rob, you were 1 year out with 1945. Oh, not too far. That style, someone says 1967. Yes, Margaret. Well done, Margaret. 1946. Oh, Jay, absolutely. Just imagine that with a Union Jack on each boob and then in the middle bit too. Oh, wonderful. Absolutely brilliant. Yes, yeah, Fizz has got it there. Louis Reard. But oh yes, I know. I don't know what's going wrong. I might actually risk pulling out the microphone of this one and going to the computer one. We will try that in jiffy. Probably what I'll do is I'll have a fiddle as we're watching this next pre-record and see what we can do, and then I might go to the computer microphone. Should we brave that, Fizz? See what that's like. So whilst I'm having a play with that, you take a look at this and have a look at me doing woad from the flowers rather than from the leaves to see if we can get woad yellow and not woad blue. Seems like we're back on start, but go. So this is woad, Isatis tinctoria, and it's growing in my garden. But someone said you can get yellow from the flowers because it's like any yellow, like weld or goldenrod. So we're going to see if we can get yellow from woad. So let's experiment. You're excited. So why we trying to hide from trust? We could just leave. We're fake, but we're better than that. I know you know, so why are we holding on? Isn't that an amazing yellow? Now, I've not seen any recipe for creating yellow from woad leaves. So I'm going to look at a recipe for weld and a recipe for goldenrod. And they simmer for about an hour and a half, and all that lovely yellowy goodness should come out into the water. And look at that. The yellow has gone completely. Looks like overcooked broccoli, doesn't it? In that liquor, is it going to make our yarn go yellow? Ooh, it's going to be exciting to see. Just think, years ago, that's what we used to do to our broccoli and our sprouts at Christmas time before like steaming them for like 3 minutes. But we used to start cooking them like in August. Oh, look at that yellow. So this has been mordanted. This has been in a mordant. Now this has got to steep in there, simmer away again, so I'll keep that heat on for another hour and a half. Do you think we're going to have a yellow? Now we've just got to wait an hour and a half, and then we'll see if we get woad yellow. Do you know, I think Jubilee is she's messed up the system. That's what it is. She left me a little present, clearly, didn't she, on the desk. Right, we're trying now the iMac microphone, the built-in microphone, rather than, you know, these things that you spend a lot of money on. So hopefully you can hear. And I will just fiddle with this a bit to get it down. Because loud and clear. Well, that's good. Well, who needs a posh microphone when you can just use the built-in microphone on your computer? Wonderful. Well, there you go. Great to hear. Much louder. See, I reckon that was Jubilee. I reckon she messed it up. Thanks, James. Thanks, James. Thanks, Margaret. Maybe she'd done something. So, what did you think about that? Amazing. Now, I know some of you do natural dyeing. Don't forget, we've got fabulous Christopher Cabin Boy Knits over in Canada who does loads of natural dyeing. So it was exciting to do that, especially if you've dyed with weld before, which is yellow and goldenrod. It would be interesting to see how well it works, and I shall show you after the gallery, so you've got to keep watching. Right, shall we do some competition winners? Speaking of Jubilee and and messing up my microphone, let's go to this here and see if this works. Right, on the screen in the spinner, you can see all of the people that entered the giveaway. And I do believe some of them are watching tonight. Margaret, yes. James, yes. Annabelle, yes. So they watched all those letters going across the screen when Jubilee was in doing the show. And they correctly worked out what what they were all, basically like an anagram of a particular, like an expression. And of course, yes, because it was the coronation, it was God Save the King. And they went online, they filled a little form in, and these are the people that got it right. So we've got 2 prizes to give away, remember? You remember? All here. Look at that. 5 skeins each for 2 people. Are you ready for it? Shall we spin? Let's have a look. Oh, I like this. Tony. Jubilee's lipstick on the microphone. I reckon it did. I should have to clean it out. I'll have to take the muff off. Oh. Right, here we go. You ready for winner number 1? I'm now going to click it. Here it goes. Hold your breath. Is it Emma or is it James? Emma is winner number 1. Let's click remove. So Emma's gone. Congratulations, Emma. There we are. We will email you to tell you that you've been a winner. Now we're ready for winner number 2. Stand by. Let's spin the wheel and see who wins. And it looks like Jennifer. Congratulations, Jennifer. Now, Fizz, do you know what that means? Me and Fizz were having a little chat, and we were having a look. We were having a look at the entrance, and we noticed some of them are in America. Well, Fizz is in America, and what we've done is we've said, because I've still got 2 prizes here, Fizz is in America, we're going to gift someone that prize in America, so Jennifer. So that means I've still got another prize here. So, and we had it just prepped in case this happened. We're going to go for a 3rd winner and see. Because I've still got to give away these. But it saves us, rather than posting it to America, Fizz is going to ship out too. So Jennifer, you're going to get your prize. Who is going to be the extra winner for number 3? And it is Natasha. Congratulations, Natasha. Congratulations, Jennifer and Emma. And I can do that and come back to me. And oh, I could put Natasha on there. I won't need to do that now because Fizz has got it already. Well done. We will be winging those prizes out to you. These ones are wonderful hand-dyed yarn from Countess Ablaze. You might remember her shop. Indie dyed yarn, did some stunning yarns. Yes, so well done. Thank you for watching, and more importantly, thank you for investing the time to watch and then do the little competition. We shall wing those to you next week. Right, as always, 1:30. It means we chill out a bit, we slow down the pace as we take a look at your work, your finished objects that you've been working on. And boy, you're cranking them out. So many wonderful finished objects. It could be knitting, it could be crochet, it could be sewing. It doesn't matter. It's just your finished crafting work, and we just like to celebrate it and show it off because it's amazing that who it could inspire. And as they go through, Fizz drops in what it is in the comments there. But for more detail, you can go to thewoolpatch.com/the gallery, and you get then really detailed sort of writing of what it is. So rather than Fizz trying to put it all in that comments, because I think they only let you do like about 200 words, 200 characters, you can go to thewoolpatch.com/the gallery to find out all the information, like what colour it is, what yarn it is, what pattern it is. It's all there. And boy, there are some fabulous makes this time in this month's gallery. How good was that? Some stunning makes. James Herberson, James, he's even in the chat as well. I'm just taking a look of, yes, this James, because we've got two Jameses. This James, we're going to talk about the other James in a minute. What about his double knitting? phenomenal. If you want to know more about that, you can go to thewoolpatch.com/gallery, and you can find a link to his vlog, or you can just go straight to YouTube and just put in James Herberson and you will find his vlog, where you can then find out all about it, because he explains how he did it and the chart and the creation of it all. Stunning. And if you like another knitting vlog, the chatty knitting vlog, quite different, but sometimes I know I've been talking to Fizz about this. Sometimes on a vlog you just want to sit down almost like with a mate, with just knitting chat, and it's just, yeah, great. So if you like that, go and check out James's vlog and you'll find out more about it. But wasn't it stunning? Now, something as well, there were so many, but we've got a one here in. Now I'm going to show you. Right, let's go to this one, if this works. Now look at this. This is made by other James, and this James, where is he? That James. And we had a great chat Saturday in the shop, and he came in, and look, this is his own weaving work. But look in here, you saw it in the gallery, and we've got it live. So what do we call it? We pronounce it, I think we pronounce it the Falderal, Romi Hill. Look at that. And just look at that lace work. And I knew it couldn't do it justice from that one picture, because it's massive. It is huge. So you start in the middle there, and look at that different panel. It's phenomenal, isn't it? Oh, I don't need to be talking into that mic. And then there. This is done in Rowan felted tweed, which James brought from my shop. This colour here, if I've got my pen, is sulphur. And this colour here, which I would call goose turd, is French mustard. Nothing like actual French mustard, but they're the two colours. And James, if you could, I don't know if you can remember, just write it in the chat if you can, how many balls it was. I want to say 3 of each, but don't quote me on that. If James can remember, I'm sure he'll write it in the chat. But go to Ravelry anyway, because on Ravelry it will give you all the yardage. So it's Romi Hill, and wonderful Fizz, I'm sure, is going to drop something in the comments as always. Falderal shawl. It's, isn't it? Just, and if I could just come back to me. Look. Amazing, isn't it? And what is so good about the felted tweed, I am a big fan of it, and I've said this to you before, there isn't really anything quite like it. I know Drops have got their own one now, finally, at last, where they've mimicked it and they've called it something tweed. Well, they might have even called it felted tweed, because it's almost like the embargo on using that word is up now, is gone, so anyone can do it. Sheepsheads have got it as well, but no one has got it with the alpaca, and it's the alpaca that gives it that. Can you see that drape and that lightness to it? It is just wonderful. Thank you very much for bringing that in, James. It was great. We had a good old chat. We were talking about weaving. Yeah, he's weaving. So he's getting into his weaving, and he's made his bags as well. But it's just, yeah, lovely, lovely knit. So we're going to have that in the shop, and it will help show off the felted tweed. But if it's something you're interested in, then felted tweed, there are loads of colours. So your choices are like, you could do so much. Now, another one Valerie, who's not on tonight, I think she said she was doing she's got some engagement thing to do. But Valerie, I can't remember her username. Is it Nana and Papa, I want to say. Something like that. She put something on her Instagram feed of a new pattern out, and I think my ladies are going to love it. Take a look at this. This is the As If Tea Lite by Shay Johnson. Now, isn't that great? It immediately caught my eye when I saw it on her Instagram story. I went, oh, I've got to go and have a look. I've had a look and I've bought the pattern too. I think it's $10. And I think many of my customers, my lady customers, are wanting slipovers, or what we would often call tank tops. And that could be a round neck or a V-neck, but round necks are certainly called for. And the commercial companies just aren't kind of keeping up with trends. It's all by these independent designers on Ravelry. So when I saw this, I just thought, do you know what? My customers could love that. It's a very subtle pattern change, but really cool. Love the shaping of it. And if I call this up, I can give you a little bit more information from Ravelry about what that pattern is using. 2 yarns held together, fingering and lace. I haven't quite worked out what the difference is yet. Excuse me, I need to look at the pattern, whether you've just dropped, I'm guessing you've just dropped the fingering weight at this point. Where's my magic pen? I'm guessing this is the 2 yarns held double here, and then here is that. Then you drop the main yarn. You've just got two strands of mohair there. I need to look more at the pattern. If anyone knows, let me know. But if you are on the hunt for a tee, a nice slip over tee, then this could be the pattern for you. How quick will that be to knit up? I would have thought so. So I'm going to get that. I'm probably not going to knit it because you know me, I'm a bit slow. I'm going to give it to Irene and Mandy to knit up for the shop, because we have mohair and we have fingering, and it probably would look lovely with that merino. So choice of colours, but isn't that fabulous? Very, very special. So looking forward to that. Right. Talking about yellow, you see, it's all planned and it's all linked, isn't it? We're going to go from the yellow of this tea into looking at the yellow. Did we get yellow from the Woad flowers? Here we go. You see that yellow? Wow. Look at that. I've just put in a bit of kitchen roll so you can see the yellow better. So all I have to do now is take it out, rinse it and dry it, and then I can show it to you. There it is, which doesn't look very good on that camera there, does it? But it is, believe me, it's a lot more saturated than what you see. Let's see if we can. Oh, there we go. That's a little bit more, but it is stunning, and it is mostly a solid. There's very little variegation in it. Some darker parts, and then some lighter parts, but otherwise, let's go there. It is. Look at that. Now, the one thing with natural, dyeing with natural, well, you know, like flowers or leaves or roots, some are what we call fugitive and some aren't. This is non-fugitive, so this is probably not going to stay. So after a wash, it will start to come out. It will fade under light. So it's probably something that I'll never do again and can't commercially do, but it's just nice to
to do it, to see if it worked. So you can create a yellow from the Woad flowers, but it just won't stay. So if you want yellow and you want to use natural, you're going to have to stick with weld or goldenrod, which gets you that real yellow from natural flowers and will stay. But there we are. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Experimenting. So for one plant, we've got blue and yellow. And doesn't that look great? Can you see that luster again? See, isn't it wonderful? But it's nice to try these things. And, you know, when you've got that plant growing outside and you've got the blue from the leaves and the yellow from the flowers, it is phenomenal what you can do from nature, from what's growing around us, and just finding that out. So there we are. So Woad yellow, yellow and blue. Right, I said to you earlier that Jubilee was off. She's off round on a trip round the world for however many more years. So we've taken the competition when she went to obviously watch the coronation. We've taken that game and she's sending me pictures of where she is, and we've turned it into our game. So get ready for a bit more fun, for a giggle for the next 10 minutes. Here we go. Right, are you ready? I know this is a bit where people get quite competitive, so stand by. This is where we get to chill out a bit more and have a giggle with the comments, and I can get to see you in the comments, and we can just really sort of slow the pace down. So this game, where is Jubilee? First of all, you get a random guess. So wherever you are now, whoever you're with, okay, so the Veta family, Rosalind, Bethan, Annabelle, where are you going to go? Shout it out to each other. Where do you think Jubilee is? And it's your starting guess, which is worth 1,000 points if you get it right. So you might go, where is she? Remember, she's gone around the world. So she could be at the Eiffel Tower. So get ready for the random guesses. Type them into YouTube chat, if you will, with your random guesses. Now, as the competition progresses, you're going to hear 7 questions. The first question is rather vague, and they get less vague as the questions progress till it's really blatant. And as you hear the questions, you write in what you think it is. You might hear question 2 and go, oh yes, I still think it's Eiffel Tower. But as soon as you change, that will be whatever point you are. So if you change your mind right down here, you're going to be 20 points. So you've got to work out when to stick with your answer to get whatever points. So you ready? Let's take a look at where the random guesses are. Poor boy's bit. Oh, brilliant. Kuala Lumpur, Sydney Opera House, New York City. It could be in Switzerland. Just generally Switzerland too, not somewhere specific. You know, like what's the brand of nice chocolate from Switzerland? Milka, is it? Ooh, the Louvre. Buckingham Palace for tea with the king. I think, James, she's already done that. I think she did that during the coronation, of course, didn't she? East Hampton, New York. Oh, Taj Mahal. Warsaw. Right, there are your random guesses. Here's question 1. Get ready. I'm at the top of a very recognisable landmark somewhere in America. So some of you are already wrong, but don't worry, that was your random guess. To get it right on the random guess, that's got to be pretty impressive. I'm at the top of a very recognisable landmark somewhere in America. So this is here now for 70 points. Some people, Statue of Liberty. Oh, 2 people for Statue of Liberty. Okay. Question 2. Oh, yes. Oh, it has, isn't it? This landmark is in a city with a population of 4 million. 15th largest in the US. Right. Is that gonna change it? Oh, cool. Oh, nice one. Top of the rock. Empire. Okay. Question 3. It was built for the 1962 World's Fair. The theme was the Age of Space. Where is Jubilee? So she's up a very recognisable landmark somewhere in America that has a population of 4 million. And this landmark was built around the theme Age of Space. So that's question 3. 50 points this is. Question 4. The landmark stands at 605 feet tall and has a saucer-shaped top offering 360-degree views. Has that given it away? Is it less vague now? Now, have you kept... So what did you keep your answer from whatever point? Susan. Ferris wheel in Minneapolis. Oh, I don't know the name. I'm sure someone will type it in. Here we go. Question 5. In 2018, the landmark saw it open the world's first rotating glass floor. Would you want to be up there? Does that make your tummy feel a bit... I think many of you might be. 2 questions to go. Gets very easy. I've had a few sleep. This is Jubilee. She says she's had a few sleepless nights in this amazing city, the largest in Washington State. Yeah, I think many of you nailed it. Question 7, the blatant one. She can see downtown Seattle, Mount Rainier, and the Olympic mountain ranges. Rainier? Mount Rainier? Is it Rainier? She's having a fabulous time. Yes, many of you guessed it. Shall we see where she is? Yes. She's at the Space Needle. So she's left Bunting Hall. She's obviously flown in her own private jet. And there it is. For those of you who don't know where it is, where Space Needle is, where Seattle is. Who got it right? I can see Fizz has already said Brendan and Tony with 60 points. Where were you on your little scoreboard? Pop it in the comments. Where did you get it? Do you want to see some pictures of Jubilee? She sent me some pictures. Absolutely. Are you ready for it? Can you remember when I say Jubilee, you say Bunting. Jubilee. Jubilee. Yes. Here we go. This will make you laugh. You might need your magnifying glass out. But there you go. There she is. Can you see her waving? How did she get her own drone up there to take the picture? I'll never know. But there she is. Look. There's JB. Yeah. Waving away. Always knowing the camera is on her. Jubilee. And then she sent one from her on the inside. Look at that. And as always, too busy nosying in on other people when she should be looking at that view. Now, if I know rightly, as Fibre Hustle have said here, Rob can look up and see it from his house. So I think we've got like Rob Seattle lives there. And I think Chip and Fibre Hustle is somewhere there. Absolutely brilliant. She's having a whale of a time. Where will she be next? Who knows? we shall wait and see. But there we are. Jubilee having a whale of a time. Oh, I can have so much fun with where she's going to be. Right. 50 points. Annabelle, well done. Absolutely brilliant. So that's not bad at all. Not bad at all. We'll see where she is next month, July. Word, the months are zipping by, aren't they? Right, let's go back to our knitting and crochet chat. Each week we do the charts and we see what's top 10. What is everyone looking at with regard to knitting patterns and crochet patterns? We'll start with crochet. So Fizz will be ready with the top 10. And she'll pop them in the chat as the chart goes through. So stand by for the crochet top 10 charts of what people are looking at now, what's hot right now on Ravelry. There we are, crochet charts. Currently, what is hot right now? What is everyone looking at? And it works it out from literally people clicking on links. So sometimes you can see trends. Sometimes there are certain designers. They might have 2 or 3 patterns in there at once. Some, they are just always looked at. And we joke about this with regard to the knitting charts, which is coming up now. The ranunculus pattern. It must just be a very, very popular pattern because it's always in the charts. And it moves up one week and it moves down. It might miss a week, but then it re-enters. So clearly it's a pattern that people keep coming back to all the time, or new people. So now we've got the knitting charts, and I think you'll see a trend in this one too. So here we go for the knitting chart. There we go. It's still in the charts, isn't it, the ranunculus? But what about those other patterns? You could see, I can't pronounce the name, but those two slipovers or jumpers there were phenomenal. So clearly something's gone on. Maybe she's released a pattern, so people are looking at all her other patterns. But it's wonderful. We do the charts each week. They're released every Sunday evening, and in the YouTube link, so you've seen it live here first, but they will then be released as a solo video on the Woolpatch channel, and in the description you'll be able to see all the links. So if you haven't got it here from Fizz posting it in the chat, you'll be able to look at it in your own time and then click on the links and find those patterns and go direct to the pattern buyer and support them by buying the pattern. Some wonderful ones there, and it's just nice seeing the trends, seeing what wools people are using or what styles are using. Sometimes you see trends of mohair, which we've talked about. It still is a trend. When I went over to Cologne, the big, huge European yarn trade show, it's still there everywhere. It's just nice to see what people are looking at. Well, there we are. Look at that. The hour has gone, but before you go, if you do want to buy something, you can, because we're going to give you a little treat. 20% off all this month. If you want to buy something online from thewoolpatch.com, you can use a coupon code, and very typically it's PRIDE. P-R-I-D-E. There we are. That's right on the screen. Proud as punch. Pop that in the coupon area and it will give you 20% off all your purchases for the whole month. It is one time per use, so maybe you might think about what you want. Are you going to do the shawl, the wonderful shawl? So you want some felted tweed, or are you going to do the good old Botanic shawl with your merino and your Zauberballs? There you go. It's up to you. 20% off if you use the coupon PRIDE. You don't have to use it. It's just there for you as a little thank you for watching this show. With all the little technical issues of Jubilee leaving. Look at this. Look. Yeah, I think there probably is sweet makeup on the muff. It's been great chatting to you. Thanks for staying in and watching. If you're still here, it's there for you, as I say, 20% off anytime during the month. PRIDE. If you're local, you can come in and say it. So Annabelle, I know you're local. Margaret, you might want, Lois, you might want another trip up. You can then even say it to me in the shop, because that's going to be interesting. Talking about that next month. Big changes for the shop. I'm going to have a big change around because fabric is moving from the shop to here. I'm taking it out of the shop, no longer stocking it in the shop. And speaking of which, next week, before we finish, me and Fizz are doing live fabric selly telly, I've called it. We're going to be here this time next week, 8 till 9, selling fabric from my shop at silly prices because we want to move it on to get new fabric in. And if it works, then I'll sell fabric online on YouTube only, and in my shop it's just going to be full of yarn. So I've already started redesigning the shop. I can get more Kallax units in, I can get more hook units in, and I'm going to reshape it so we've got lots to talk about shop wise next week, and then, or next month should I say. But next week, yes, selly telly. If you like fabric, then come and watch us. It will all be cut up into 1 meter pre-cuts, because it's stock that's left over that just needs to go so we can make room for more wool as we start to specialise in wool at the Woolpatch. But don't worry, fabric lovers, I still love sewing. I'm sewing here on my sewing machine. So if fabric works, we'll sell fabric online through this selly telly. You can watch from your own home. And there's no show like this. It's not a strict formal show where we go through and have different features and pre-records and stuff. It is literally just selling. If you're interested in that, keep an eye on YouTube and keep an eye on chat, because you have to register, but you could see something and just pop it in the chat, boom, and pay, it's yours. if that's of interest to you. I know we've got different people who like wool and different people who like fabric, so it might be a whole different audience who I see next Sunday. Otherwise, I shall see you next month. Fizz will be here, back sorting out the moderation and your comments. It's been lovely reading all your comments. I do go back and read them afterwards because, as you can imagine, during the show I don't get to see much, but there we go. That's just caught my eye. Thank you, Stuart and Fizz, for another great live episode. Yeah, Fizz is going to put the link in if you want to register for Selly Telly, if that's your thing, if you like fabric. We will be selling wool sometimes too. You can then register where you pop your email in and you pop your YouTube username in, and then that means what we basically do is we invoice you. That's it. If you like something you like the look of and you go, I want that, it's yours. We then invoice you later on in the week. Fizz has got a wonderful. She's looking forward to doing all that spreadsheeting stuff, I'm sure. So we'll see you next week for Fabric Selly Telly, or we'll see you next month for another Woolpatch live show. Oh my word, that's going to be June. Thanks everyone. Thanks for taking time to watch. It is hot. Go out there, crack open a beer and enjoy that long, well, we're now pretty getting near to summer, aren't we? Summer evening where the sun doesn't set till really late. Thanks everyone for joining, and I'll see you very soon. Cheers. Bye-bye. Oh.